Good afternoon. It's toss time on day 5 and match number 2. In total, this is the 10th match of the Malaysia Super Women League here at the BAYUEMAS Oval. All in greatness. For the toss, we have the Q captains, Kerry Chan of Central Super Girls and Winfred of the Southern Jaguars. And the match referee, Edwin, is ready. Edwin, please take it away.
Okay.
Chan to
Tail is a call.
spin the coin.
Tail.
Okay, who won the toss?
Southern.
Winnie, if you could come forward. Yes, you won the toss. What would you like to do?
I think on this pitch, looking good, looking dry with the sun weather. So both would have been good on this pitch.
So you want to bowl first?
We won and batting first.
You are batting first.
Yeah.
Okay, so does that really make a difference, chasing? Or batting first, you have an advantage?
I think we got a good batting side, and also the girls are also improving and coming back strong. So we'll be prepared and ready to go.
Had a day off yesterday, all relaxed, nice mood in the team?
Yeah, we had a good rest day, and also we had a good catch up at the night. Everyone got together, and so all had fun, and I can see the team bonding.
Any changes in the side?
We got one change in the side, so yeah. I hope it
Right,
goes well.
good luck and have a very good one. Thank you. Kerry, if you could come forward, please. Okay, so you're going to bowl first. Your take on that?
Yeah, like we would take our team on the bat first, but to be
Right.
fair, that in this situation, it doesn't really big matter according to the wicket.
Right. So you are in a position where you can go all the way, but you can't afford to lose it. So what's the strategy? Anything different that we can expect in this match from the previous ones?
I think from us that it's just going to play our best game and not take too much pressure. Like for me that and for the team also, every game is like a simple game, so not need to think about too complicated, and then just go to play our best cricket.
Do we have any changes in the side?
No.
No changes at all.
No changes.
So it's absolutely the same side, and good luck to you. Have a great one.
Thank you.
So one change in the Southern Jaguars, the same team for the Super Girls, and that's the news out from the centre. It's the Southern Jaguars who won the toss, and they have decided to bat first.
Sure.
Once again, welcome back to another match here at the BAYUEMAS Oval. It's good afternoon to viewers wherever you are watching. It's an even contest right on the cards between Southern Jaguars and the Central Super Girls. As the news earlier on, it was Southern Jaguars who have elected to bat first after winning the toss. So this is the Southern Jaguars' starting 11. It's Nuralia, Kavita Kanwar, Noor Dania, Siti Noor Shakila, Divya GK, Samira Khan, Winifred, the captain of the ship, Marina plays for Hong Kong, Mia Ardaleta, Noor Shaira, and Noorainis Shahira. So this is the side that's gonna rock in the middle. And as we speak, these are the troops that who are going to field in the middle against a side who had elected to bat first under favorable conditions as mentioned in the toss earlier on, as they would want to put a formidable total of 120 and above, which sees them above par at the moment. That's the skipper right there for you, skipper of Central Super Girls. And alongside me to do the commentary job, it is Aryan. Good afternoon, Aryan.
Good afternoon, Deepak, and good afternoon to everyone here present with us today. So we'll have a look at the Central Super Girls lineup. Chen Kayeng, the skipper, Aina Hamiza, Pooja Mahato makes it into the 11 today. Frankie, Aina Najwa, Shafina Mahesh, Mosfira, Noor Aina, Ainur Amelina, Noor Shwana, Irdina Beh, and lastly Sunisa. So the news from the center, as mentioned earlier, Southern Jaguars have won the toss and they'll be batting first. All but set to go in the last match of the group stages before we move into the knockouts. So all to play for. The winner of this game will all but ensure that they end up in second, if not third position. The umpire signals play and we're all set to go. First delivery, right on the money.
So far, Southern Jaguars are sitting fourth in the table, just claiming only 2 points, having only one out of the 3 matches, have lost twice. And the Central Super Girls have won one and shared a piece with a loss and a no result match. Well, solid defense there by Kavita Kanwar, who's proving to be an asset to this side, who has scored vital runs in the past and a match winning one, scoring 56 runs. Not only she can bat, she could actually do a lot of tricks with the ball as well. Well, that's the first runs. Pierce is to the grab, and it's a couple of runs to start off with. Kavita Kanwar and Southern Jaguars off the mark.
Yeah, good to see some intent early on in the innings. Normally seen most of the teams being slightly circumspect early on, but Kavita decides she's going to take charge early on in the first over. She gets herself off the mark, not in the best or most convincing of fashions, slight inside edge, but she'll take it. Outside off, slightly shorter, looks to cut, but cannot lay any bat on it. So win for Southern Jaguars here will take them on to third place, while a win for the Central Super Girls based on their net run rate, if they win, you would think they would move on to second position. So all to play for here. Looking for a quick single, decide against it. Good attacking fielding there. Aina Hamiza started off well. If the first game is anything to go by, then this game could be another low scorer game. Beautiful shot that. Is it gone over? Yes, it has. But we'll just pluck in the outfield and they look to come back for a second. And they do so with ease. Once again, just showing the intent straight away in the first over. After 1 over, Southern Jaguars 4 for no loss.
Yup. As things stays, you would want to have Kabita Kanwar to stay there for a long period of time. She makes a cut for the most runs scored in this tournament, scoring 105 runs in a 3 innings played, and best of them all coming with 55. And it's Pooja Mahato from the Golden and well, this will be a really interesting contest to watch as Pooja Mahato has picked up 5 wickets in a 2 innings so far. She's bowled. She's been a crucial player in this team, getting the wicket.
She's the number 3 in the leading wicket takers. Best of 4 wickets in one game. Big in swing there. But well played in the end. Just a single to get Nordania off the mark. Look at that economy, 3.5. Really good economy there. Got a deep third man and a deep fine leg. He's got a short square leg behind square. This time looks to be a bit too greedy and starts it outside off, but given as a wide by the umpire, and they'll sneak in an extra run as well, as the wicket keeper could not gather it cleanly. Decent start. This still very early on in this innings, but looking good.
So far, it's been good bowling. It's just that at certain times, it's been misleading towards the extras and the unnecessary no balls. It's an evenly poised game at the moment. Well, a good leave. She really knew that was way out of the reach, and it's a wide delivery. Again, Pooja trying to be slightly expensive with her extras. Normally very disciplined bowler.
A lot depends on her shoulders. The central super girls have to get off to a good start with the ball. Beautiful in swing again. They're looking for a quick single. It's not on. There's an appeal, but just manages to get back in on time. Have a look at this again. Just sharp in swing. Just cramps up for room and looking for a non-existent single there.
Well, Pooja is the only bowler in this tournament to pick up a 4-fer. Well, that's the best bowling figures in this entire competition so far. 4 for 7. Best out of them all. Well, she desperately needs to do some sort of magic and maybe bring those figures, and maybe that could bring a lot of joy to this side. She's done it in the past. This is a moment to strike. Well, at the moment, she can't sort of find a great rhythm. And again, third extra being bowled. And as if she looks like she's a bit rusty with the deliveries, but hopefully she could get in good shape back. Well, good in swing, a good comeback. Already 6 runs in this over, and 4 of them coming from extras.
Good to see both the batters just looking to come on the front foot. Kavita already standing outside her crease. Know that this wicket is not going to give too much bounce as she goes down the ground. Aerial, and is it going to be the first boundary of the innings? No, it's not. That's beautifully fielded at the mid-on fence. They're looking to come back for a third, but decide against it. Nordania says, we've had enough. 2 runs are enough. Let's have a look again. Just doesn't manage to time it too well because of the sharp in-swing that she's generating. And a beautiful piece of fielding there just to keep it inside the rope and also to prevent them from coming back for a third. That has prompted a field change. Fine leg comes in and long gone goes back. Just fishes outside off. Looking to get a single down to third man, but cannot manage to connect.
Looks like there's some sort of clarity in the batting today, which is trying to attack as much as possible in the power play and get the runs on the board. As things stand, is Western Wonder Women the only team being unbeaten so far and sit comfortably right on the top of the table, and followed by with Eastern Lioness, who had just won their match earlier on this day in dramatic fashion, and it's Central Super Girls who would have to win in order to climb up the table, as Southern Jaguars are sitting 4th. So there's a battle between 3rd and 4th at the moment. Drifting down the leg side, this one. Well, in the previous game, both teams combined had 11 extras. And this is already 6 so far in just 2 overs. Which is quite worrying because these extras will really decide the fate of both the sides. And they do not want to concede a lot. Well, halfway down the track. Well, the intention was good, but maybe in just slight hurry.
It was a bit ambitious, in my opinion. There was never a run there straight to the fielder. Kavita just wants to get on strike. Stem punch straight back to the bowler, half stop, prevents any runs from being scored. So far, it looks like it's either all or nothing. Both these batters, they're either just defending it or looking to go for the big shot. Need to ensure that they keep rotating the strike as well. We know the importance of runs on the board. Runs are not easy to come by, so they need to ensure, as umpire does not signal the wide this time, it was close to the leg stump. Again, inside edge and is bowled. That's the much needed wicket that he needed. Nordania, a struggle comes to an end. She's just looking to open the face and guide it behind square. But all she could do is manage to eke an inside edge and onto her leg stump.
Well, that's poor shot selection there, trying to guide it towards third man, and she completely fails it on this occasion. And Miss Q had just dropped it on the stumps, and it's a first blow, and it's an important breakthrough for the Central Super Girls to get things underway. Look at that. A rash shot from Nurdania, and she's been sent back to the pavilion. Not the best of starts here for Southern Jaguars, but Central Super Girls are really happy and delighted with their very first wicket in just giving away 13 runs.
And at number 3 is the vice captain Divya, joining hands with Kavita. Need to string a partnership here. Got themselves to a decent start, but they need to keep this going, keep the same momentum going. Aina Miza's bowled a really good over. She's bowled a good first over as well. Just putting the pressure back on the batters. Just a wide off this over, and she's managed to get a wicket. Here we go. Divya facing her first delivery. Looks to cut, but doesn't manage to get any bat on it.
More importantly was the lack of bounce that really made her struggle to hit the shot. She was expecting something to come above waist height to maybe get a comfortable shot out of it, but she had to go for a full stretch to get this one. But smart bowling for Maina there. And driven nicely, but just to the field at point, who cuts it off very well. Great energy in the field, so as the synergy amongst the players. As things stands, it's 13 for 1, and Central Super Girls have drawn first blood, and they are very in the power play, and most importantly in this over. So it's the vice captain and Kavita who was ordered to do the job in the middle. And the task of Pooja is to just get the early wickets in the power play and maybe be in the driver's seat. Again, a good in-swinger, but it just didn't have the legs to just reach the fielders. Otherwise, it would have been a different scenario. We would have witnessed that. Smart bowling, just trying to angle this one into the batter. And normally, Kavita, who is a very leg side oriented player, she would want those deliveries to just come off her pads and maybe glance it down. And again, as what I mentioned, again, just tickling it towards the leg side. And there's no surprise that Pooja has a lot of protection behind square. More importantly, fine leg and a backward square leg so far. That's what we've seen. Now fine leg has been put back at the boundary edge alongside with the third man. A good in-swinger, and has it made? And yes, umpire had all the time in the world. He deeply thought whether was hitting the stumps or not. An enthusiastic appeal, and umpire signals out. So Pooja has got her very first breakthrough, and Divya has not registered a single run since entering the crease. And it's a double blow for the Central Super Girls.
Have a look at this again. It looks slightly high to me on first glance, but let's have a second look. It's 50-50 there, maybe even sliding down the leg side, but the umpire thinks otherwise. And it's important wicket this for the Central Super Girls. They needed someone to back the opening bowler, and Pooja has provided just that. Slightly expensive in her first, but has made amends in her second over. In at number 4 is Marina.
Yup, it's Pooja's inducker, and she has done the job right again. And redemption well and truly completed after not of best starts that she had, but she's slowly getting into rhythm. And that's how dangerous she could be. And using the in-swing, she's been exploiting a lot of batters and breaching through the defenses.
It just goes to show that pace is not everything. Even if you're not the quickest of bowlers, as long as you can swing it, you can still trouble the batters. That's exactly what Pooja is doing. Again, just ekes out an inside edge. Just manages to get herself off the mark, make herself feel a bit better.
Well, Kavita back on strike, and she definitely wants to dine out on any one of these in-swingers just coming fairly straight or maybe onto the pads, and she would want to flick it. And look at that, immediately long on has been placed and fine leg is back in the 30-yard circle. And big shot, big shot! Is it drifting too much? Well, the whole squad has emerged. It's a loud appeal. But even how loud you shout, the umpire says it's gonna be not out. Well, this gives us a conclusive evidence on what has happened here.
Yeah, just drifting down the leg side, you would think. This time the umpire signals not out. A good bit of bowling here, good swing over here, just starting well outside off and managing to bring it back in a big margin. This time again started wide outside off, but slightly fuller. Driven down to long on. Excellent over. This is 3 runs and a wicket. After 4 overs, Southern Jaguars 16 for 2.
Well, it's a good comeback over for Pooja, and the in-swinger once again getting the first or maybe the second wicket, and the first for her spell. So 2 overs into actions, she has got a wicket and 11 runs. At the moment is Marina and Kavita Kanwar who are in the middle. And again, it's another slow and steady start for the batting side. Not able to fetch any sort of boundaries yet. While the intention was there when earlier on with Nudania and Kavita. And it was not the day for Divya today. And again, trying to be aggressive, but not so productive in this occasion.
Hamiza bowling well here. This time just drifts down the leg side. Well flicked away by Kavita. Again manages to come back for a brace. Kavita gets herself into double figures.
Well, interesting feel here. She has placed a long on and long off, and rest of the players are just well within the circle. Even though she would want to place another, we are in the power play, so she aren't able to do the stuffs. But so far, it's been a great bowling performance. Early wickets in the power play always makes a bowling team really comfortable, but they shouldn't get too comfy. Again, slashing it, and yes, Nick gone. And that is the most satisfying thing as a bowler you want. Sneak past the edge and through to the keeper. Keeper makes no mistake. And Kavita Kanwar, when she was just trying to find some rhythm, she gets out, and look at the celebrations there. They are delighted with that wicket. How big of a wicket this could be. And now Central Supergirls are really on the driver's seat.
Let's have a look at the replay. Just slightly shorter outside off. Looks to cut, but only manages a thick edge. And the wicket keeper there makes no mistake. It's a good catch, and the batter has to depart. Just manages to get herself into double figures, and before she could go any further, she lost her wicket. So now Southern Jaguars reeling at 18 for 3. Haven't managed to get any boundaries underway yet. They would need to string a partnership here early on in this innings. They still have a lot of time, 15 overs left. Aina Hamiza manages to get herself into the wickets once again. New batter at number 5 is Samira.
Yeah, almost that shot was an involuntary flick outside the off stump, trying to go for the cut, but it had lack of bounce, and most importantly, she couldn't get much contact out of it. But good bit of swing there. There was just maybe drifting towards the offside, towards the first slip cordon, and that's a wonderful wicket.
Yeah, interesting field again now. Mid-off comes in, third man goes back. I'd like to see mid-on come in as well. Ooh, beaten on the outside edge. Bowling really well there, just on the outside of region, and she's got the feel for it. Bowling to a 6-3 offside field. Not too sure the point of the long gone there. Can bring her in, and attack a bit more, prevent some easy singles. As we see Gully being introduced as well. So this is good aggressive captaincy here by Chan. Oh, straight away the fielder almost came into play, just wide of her and down to third man.
Yeah, twirling a bat and finds the fielder at third man. But looks like fielding position has been exceptional there, knowing exactly where to place the fielders and the correct fielders to field at which positions. Superb bit of captaincy by Kerry Chan so far, as everything is rolling the CSG's way. Slash it outside off stump and gets into the gap. Does it have the legs to reach the boundaries? No. Fair bit of bumpy roads along the way. It looks like the sluggish outfield not assisting the batting side. Nonetheless, a wicket in this over and just 21 runs on the board with 3 wickets. CSG are just cruising at the moment.
Yeah, it's really been a struggle for the Southern Jaguars better, especially after winning the toss. Haven't managed to get themselves off to the best of starts, and they've also lost 3 wickets. But they'll know going by the first game that this is not a flat wicket. There's much in it for the bowlers, so they just need to ensure they get themselves to a respectable total, which they can make a meal of it in the second innings. Good to see the faith shown in her bowlers by the captain. It's going to be continuing with Pooja for her third over.
Yep, you said about backing your bowlers. It's really crucial as from the captain's point of view. Always trusting your bowlers, and this gives some sort of confidence for Pooja and the rest of the bowlers when they're playing. And a big shout, but this was quite clear that it was drifting down the leg side. Well, coming back to your point that you say backing the bowlers, it's extremely important as for your bowling unit. Whenever you backs your bowler, it means that the captain is trusting you, and with those sort of trusts, it gives a glimmer of hope, and you would want to do justice for what your captain has given you. And we have seen it plenty of times, and trusting Pooja might be the game. And this might be fairly straight. Yes, it was dead on to hit the stumps, trying to glance it down the leg side, and another better goes for LBW. It's a similar sort of length, a similar sort of line, but the love signal that shows they're in the mood and they have come here to win this match. Pooja on fire at the moment.
Yeah, it's beautifully bowled once again. Just fuller this time. Samira never looked comfortable against that big in swing that she was getting, and she has to depart. Beautiful piece of bowling. Umpire had no hesitation with that. She manages to get her second wicket of the innings. Just manages.
Well, the sun is pouring hard at the ground, so as the stress levels amongst the batters now, as the job is under their shoulders, and how are they going to tackle it? That's the $1,000,000 question at the moment, as Pooja has bowled an elegant delivery. Look at that. It swung a mile inside, angle in, a bit of nip in as well, and it was straight on the middle stump.
Yeah, it brings in the skipper, Winfred. Pooja Like this field now, short mid wicket. Short square leg as well in place. That's an inside edge. Will this be a single? Oh, if there was a better throw, there could have been a chance of a run out. Really, really bowling well here. Are the Southern Jaguars are the Central Super Girls bowlers? I'll tell you what, got a good leg side field here. Just fielders in catching position. I'll tell you that these fielders are definitely in play. The short mid wicket and the short square leg. It's getting really, really sharp in swing. It's moving in late to the right hander. Here we go again, but this time beautifully driven. Well up to the mark there was Marina. So running away to the boundary. Just managed to get a couple.
Well, that is the thing for a batter. Those kind of shots, it was really, she well went into stride and lands it on. It's just that not much pace going on the pitch, and also the sluggish outfield not aiding them. And as a batter, you feel that I've put in a lot of hard work in that shot, but not getting the maximum results. And that kind of frustrates you, and even more pressure will build up. And that's the thing that the batters would want to remind themselves, that every sort of run is priceless. So the sort of positive mentality is really, really crucial when you're right on the back foot. And both these batters should remind themselves that any sort of run coming from now will be absolutely important. And they would want to put a half decent score, and a score that they would really be happy about themselves and really comfortable when they want to defend in the second innings. Slashes it away slightly quicker. A teasing line, a really tempting line for Marina there to hit, but a swing and a miss in this occasion. And looks like the power play proceedings have come to an end, and and looks like the Southern Jaguars have been blown away for quite a bit. It's 24 for 4 at the moment.
It's really been a struggle, and they would hope that the struggle is put to an end by their skipper, Winfried, one of the more experienced batters in this lineup, the captain of the Malaysian national side.
Looks like a bowling change from the Golden Orb, and it is Frankie that they've introduced. The very first spinner. Again, nicely tucked away on the leg side. Well, now the spinner has options of 5 to go beyond the 30-yard circle. Whereas a bowling point of view, you would want to keep things tight and maybe put the fielders right back in the 30 yards. But at certain times, you would feel that maybe going widespread is the game, or maybe the play. Again, and reversed it, and this should be a run-out chance. Well, after the sweep, she immediately thought maybe the ball was rolling behind square, but then it was not the case. It just stuck around the hands of the wicketkeeper versus skipper. The good take, but just in time, she manages to make a ground. Swept this one and drifting down the leg side again. Not the best from Frankie here. Well, this time good use of the feed, but couldn't get all the timing in the world in this occasion. Sweeps it and nearly chops it on the stumps. Little bit of pad, and Gentry low on the pad and nearly onto the stumps. Well, she's really living very dangerously here, Marina. Well, she often equips the reverse sweep, but hopefully it doesn't become a liability. Who's been so far, they are set. Goes one down and slide and ricochets off the hands. Has it touched the boundary ropes? Well, they've done all right. And just squeezes through the bowler and gets past her. Although a lot of runs have come out from this over, things look absolutely perfect, and this is what conclusively happened there. And it almost, there was fractions that it was hitting the boundary, but they just doing all right to keep it back in. And I reckon this is the perfect time for me to introduce my co-commentator here. It's none other than Mr. Sri. A very good afternoon. Selamat datang on the Combox.
Good afternoon, Ganesh, and good afternoon to all the viewers, wherever you are and tuning in. This wouldn't have been the script that Winifred, the captain of the Southern Jaguars, would have had in mind when she won the toss and decided to bat first. 4.14 is the run rate, and even more worrying is the fact that they have lost 4 wickets. 7 overs gone. A perfect time to be Curry Chan, and she has brought us a form. Anyway, thinking of a single is Vinny. Sent back by Marina. They need to build a partnership here. It's very warm, but it's wonderful sight from here. Conditions as the match progresses, I think it's going to get cooler as the sun promises to go down ever so slowly. Played away straight to the fielder again. There's no run. A little edgy are the batters. They needn't worry too much is what I feel. You need to weather the storm to ensure that that's hit straight. One bounce into the fence for 4. Clear intent from Marina. And she gave it the full Monty. In the air, there was no attempt to keep it down. It was right in the arc for her to hit. And oh boy, didn't she time it well.
Yup, she went in real quick knowing that Curry Chan is fairly slow, so why not take it on early? And she just pelted it onto the leg side. Good technique, good foot movement. No shot of perfection in this one. Again, innovation has been key to her success, and she's proving once again. Again, Marina has been absolutely good. She is off to a very good start here.
Dangerous batter. Once she gets going, she makes her stay count, scores pretty quickly, and plays the big shots and some cheeky ones as well. And one of the things that she does is the reverse sweep. Sometimes Bisfield allowing a single, has to hurry, but no damage done. Safely done in the end, but it was a tight single to start with. 8 gone, 36 for 4.
So far, the story is that Southern Jaguars have put up a score of 36 and losing 4 wickets. The thing is, Winifred earlier on had opted to bat first as the flip of the coin was in her favour. But things not rolling her way at the moment. But looks like this is both the batters are trying to steady the ship and make it to the end point as farthest we could travel. As for the Central Super Girls, who are sitting comfortably at third, would want to climb up the ladders and be the runner-ups of the group stage, as they are 2 points away, and with a healthy run rate, it's very possible. Well, swept this one behind square again, going for the sweep shot against the spinners. Well, she has plenty of shots in the locker, and over time, she's unlocking as much as she could according to the deliveries they're bowling. And she's safely negotiating those and very conscious in what shots she has to play.
Oh, not quite there. Frankie into her second over. Marina going well, 15 of 18. Winfred just joining her at the crease. Oh, I just get the feeling that you needn't bat recklessly all the time. When there is an opportunity, put that away, but you can always play proper cricketing shots and maneuver the bowling and push the ball into the gaps and take the singles and the twos. But somehow, that's heaved away again. Somehow you get the feeling that sometimes tremendous amount of risk is taken for very poor returns.
Yep, it's almost that all sorts of delivery being bowled, knowing that it's giving lack of bounce. It's almost persuading them to go for the big hits. Unfortunately, they're not connecting well with the bat. And that is some sort of the problem with the batting today as well for the Southern Jaguars.
Long off being brought inside the circle. The long on is still on the fence. Just cut away. Fielder giving it a chase. Enough time for the batters to cross over for a second. A lot will depend on this partnership. Now the four batters are back in the hut. They need to get their acts together. This has to be a very mature, sensible partnership. If they have to get a score which gives them some safety. Remember, it's Vinny who won the toss and decided to bat first. And ever since, it's been all Super Girls.
Yep, with such super stuff, they have got the 4 wickets and only 40 on the board. So for 4 bowling options they have opted with, and it's Aina Hamiza who's been the pick of the bowlers. She has picked up 2 crucial wickets, just giving away 10 runs. Such spectacular figures, and 1 over to go for her. And as well as Pooja Mahato, who has been key with an in-swinger, was caused a lot of trouble for the batters, and she has too been the top wicket taker so far in this tournament, making it 7 for herself. And those 2 opening bowlers have done the job earlier on. It's up for the rest to maybe tighten the screws up. And it's Shafina from the Negara end.
Quick run up. Driving on the offside, Vinny straight to the fielder. The run rate is 4.36. Shafina M. It's straight. The fielder comes around it, and they're calling for a second. A misfield will allow them to take that run comfortably, the extra run. 2 more added to the score. Vinny moves on to 7, and the total moves on to 42. Gently tapped away on the leg side, no fielder. Long one coming around. I guess it's Kerry Chan, the captain. 4 fielders outside the 30-yard circle. Being tapped away.
Well, looks like the placement has been a big trouble for both the batters. They are not placing it well in the gaps. And over time, the pressure is going to build up. And that is when they tend to play reckless, going for the big shots. And those are the times where the wicket falls. But this time it's going behind square, and this should be stopped. Yep, well fielded. Again, these are free runs which will be really, really priceless in the context of the game so far. While the ones at the red, which usually resembles bravery, at the moment not brave enough to go for the big hits, and they're playing very, very matured here, playing very, very timid. At the moment, just trying to build a partnership, this both. It looks like they're trying to build a partnership, but then the damage has been done earlier on by the Central Super Girls, who've been supreme so far this afternoon. And we are at the halfway mark of the very first innings. And let's take a breather. Well, more live action kicking on after the first half of the first innings. Well, the script is that all the digits here is 4. So it's 44 for 4. And at the moment, the only team that will be really delighted with their performance is Central Super Girls. Despite losing the toss, they've really adapted the situations and really made good control of it. Whereas for the Southern Jaguars, who have been struggling despite winning the toss, and usually as a team who had won the toss would want to boss in what they do, at the moment they just couldn't fine tune yet. But it's very early to predict things, and immediately showing intent, playing right in perfect areas. That's a perfect execution of how to sweep the shot, and that is creamed. Well batted there. Frankie almost immediately bowling right on the slot. It was easy pickings, as Marina is usually known for her intelligence for using the innovation at its best. And she really makes cricket happy as she moves on to 20 now. Again, rocking on the back foot, trying to punch this one in front of square. Well, this is really sensible for Marina. Immediately attack and then defend on the another one. Smart cricket all round. Tossed up delivery, jams down. Well, almost you can see that Frankie is almost trying to flight those, knowing that will provide more slowness of the pitch as it's trying to hold up. The previous over, maybe 2 overs before, when the skipper opted to bowl, she was doing this similar stuff, just trying to tilt it in the air and let the ball do the work after the bounce. But sometimes it has really backfired. But most occasions it's really productive. You could almost see that Winifred trying to go down the ground, but she's almost stuck at one point when the ball is not getting the right amount of bounce that she would expect from the surface.
Decided to do away with the helmet, wearing a cap. Here's Winifred scoring at almost a run a ball. Marina, on the other hand, has done the bulk of the scoring so far. Almost half of the team's total has been contributed by Marina. It's imperative from a Southern Jaguars point of view that she stays till the end. And if she does, they're going to get a decent total on the board. Still a fair bit of work to do. Chipped away. Misfield allowing a single.
And if you want to pile up dots, you would want to pile up pressure, and the field has to back the bowler up, and this sort of mistakes shouldn't prolong, or else they would really take advantage of it and attack those fielders who have really poor judgment there. But nonetheless, it's 50 up for the Central, beg your pardon, it's Southern Jaguars who have reached 50, but it's taken quite a bit of time for them to get the landmark. Nonetheless, Central Super Girls will be fairly happy about it.
4.55 now that these two battles are there for quite some time, and they would want to move up the gear a little bit at this moment. At the same time, to ensure that there isn't much of damage done in terms of the number of wickets. If these two can bat for another 5 overs, and then we are looking at a good score, because a solid launch pad would have been provided by these two by then. Short selection generally leaves a bit to be desired.
So Shafina from the Nagara, and once again at a very tidy over, and it's a full toss, and Winifred has peppered it on the leg side. What a way to start the 11th over, and she does that, a juicy full toss on the waistline, always a shot that has invitation to hit, and Winifred says thank you so much. And once again, just swing the bat, and middling was just enough to reach the boundary. And Winifred gets her very first boundary of this match. It's a long blade she has. Could she do more? Off the back foot, a bit of swing. Again, got caught on the crease later on. Well, apart from that fierce power play, it's been fairly quiet, and the chirping has almost been dampened from the Central Super Girls setup. Again, inside edge, and not just on a body there. Again, trying to be aggressive, but again, the aggression is, the recklessness is just taking over under their skin when trying to be aggressive and not getting the connection they want. That has been an immense mishap over time for many batters in this series. Swing and a miss. Most importantly, Shafina is swinging something around here. And coming back to the point that is that Winifred or maybe other batters is just not able to connect up to the bounce. It's very lack of bounce, and they're trying to generate a lot of muscle through it. And good fielding there. Really, really stunning effort. Well, one thing that the batters should look forward to, is just rotating the strikes. And that's how you can keep the scoreboard running. As for the bowler, it actually frustrates, giving the effort that they have to run, get the run up right, and land the ball. Again, good leave, as it's a wide delivery. Well, the deciding factor on what shot to be played or not is how the ball is being landed. And so far, it's been safe landing for most of the period for the Central Super Girls. At certain times, the landing has been crushing to the gates of the batsman. Marina on strike. What could she offer in the very last delivery of the 12th over? And one thing that she could offer is her wicket. When Shafina was swinging from the very start, she swings this one in, a bit of angle in as well, nip in. That's an absolute jaffa, and middle stump goes for a cartwheel. And half a side gone, and the celebration continues. Well, they're not over the world about it, but when things looked like they were pulling the strings back, and they lose the wicket, trying to go for the big heave. For the one to celebrate is Shafina, but Marina has to be done for. The only player who really looked with surety and clarity in the batting, unleashing her shots left, right, and center, going for the reverse sweep, the conventional slog sweep. She was playing with the right shot, with the right delivery, but in this occasion, a special one needed to dismiss her. Story of 12 overs is that it is 56 for 5. Looks like Kerry Chen has made all those rotations in the bowling so that she could change hands. And as a saying, new hands will bring new fortunes. So Kerry Chan will have certain hurdles in the very first delivery of a second over here. It's a 13 from the Golden Open. And a tick outside edge. After tilting in the air, dancing down the pitch, trying to go for a big heave. That's a real chance. Unfortunately, the keeper was not ready for that. She was not expecting that. But a good effort of the field. Well bowled. But almost Kerry Chan is just trying to bowl very slow and let the pitch do the work. It's almost let the batsman do the hard work, and I get the wicket effortlessly. So far, that's been the ploy. And again. And this one having a bit of extra bounce off the surface. And it almost bamboozled Mia Ardaya in a very first delivery. It's not that you want a delivery that you would not want to face. And It was just making contact upon bouncing. She was almost cramped at and caught up on the crease there, trying to dock the shot. Winifred, what could the skip offer? It's turning away. So as she played in the offside, steered it. Should be looking for two. A run out opportunity. Well, not the best. Feedings to the bowler. She would wanted it dead straight on the stumps. Maybe could have been a 50-50 chance of run out. But nonetheless, comfortable running in between the wickets. Well, almost the batters can't judge the way that Harry Chan has been bowling. She's almost tilting it very full, or maybe dragging her length immensely behind to the short length and let the ball bounce. Well, she has played that one real early there. Winifred drives it straight down the ground. While after the power play, it's not been running riot for Central Super Girls, but they still believe the game belongs in their hand. 61 for 5, 13 gone. One thing that the Southern Jaguars would want to look for in maybe improve it is taking calculative risk, put away the bad ones and maybe playing the good ones to hike up that run rate. Can swing and a miss a play. And well, Winnie is kind of disgusted and well, I don't know what she has in the back of her mind. Well, as a captain, a lot of burden on her shoulders, trying to sail the ship smoothly, but there's been a lot of waves that have been drive fractured and interfered along the journey so far. Well, looks like the wave has just diffracted away from her as the wide delivery comes out of nowhere, and Shafina, who's been really bowling very tight, almost in this over, you could see that her delivery has been more on the off stump line and maybe fifth or fourth stump, making the batter go for reach and enabling that point to come in play. And again, on the offside, this should be a run out chance, and it's a direct hit. Good throw, was dead on to hit the stumps. There was almost Hawkeye stuff there in the middle, aiming to the stump and not missing it. Well, it's very crucial, this one. Indirect runouts and direct runouts. Runouts has been a key factor to decide who wins this tournament or maybe matches throughout. Well, one thing is that the lack of communication between the batters has enabled that to be a norm, and those sort of situations sparked due to lack of runs in the board and pressure being built up in desperation of getting those runs on the board, going for the quick singles. And that has been most of the stories in the tournament. Even earlier on in this match, prior to this match, it was a game between the Eastern Lioness and the Northern Queens. When everything looked in favor for the Northern Queens, who had restricted Eastern Lioness for the fair bit of lowest score of this tournament of 76 at that point. They almost lost control in the very second innings, and one of that is due to the lack of communication and the indirect runouts. It's been really impressive to see the energy and the synergy in the field. It's just that the same energy has been flowing in the batting. It's just that it's come under pressure. No sort of batter is just batting effortlessly and driven nicely, but Again, you could almost see that the field is getting tighter and the singles has been cut off quite often now. And surely in the back of the mind, Mia is saying, I would want to go big, go beyond the infield. But at the moment, the time has not come for her. Well, in this delivery is not written for her to score a boundary, maybe getting a single yet. 3 dots. As a bowler, you will be really, really glad. Well, it's normally a sight to watch the batter playing effortlessly, but at the moment, it's been maximum effort. Well, a series of dots becoming the closure of this over. It's 14 overs gone, and a worrying score at the moment for the Southern Jaguars. Having been put to bat, they have not excelled in what they have chose to do so far.
Six to go. 36 deliveries remaining. 64 is the score. Be interesting to see how many more they can put on. They will need at least 100 runs. But then earlier in the day, we also saw 76 being defended. There was a chaser in the air for quite some time, dancing down the track, Vinny, and hitting it straight. The captain bringing herself on for her third over. Kerry Chan.
While you were making a point about defending 76 earlier on, it's almost written in the stars.
Cut away, but not with any real power. Mia Arda is the new batter who has come out to the medal at the fall of Marina's wicket. 14.2 overs, 65.5. Sorry, 65.45, I should say. Has been cut away, running down to the fence. No, the fielder is quicker than the ball. But 2 added to the score. They all count. They all count.
Yep, every run is priceless from now on, as every run they put on the board becomes really crucial for them to defend. Well, it wasn't the case in the previous innings, as it was a lower score of 76 and managed to defend it and win by 13 runs. It's almost a dream come true for the Eastern Liners, who are sitting second in the table. And for the Northern Queens, who haven't registered their very first win. And this game was the closest they've came so far.
For most part of the game, it was their game, but not to be. And this is cut away in the gap. The ball holding up slightly. It's a teaser. Just stops inside the boundary. And coming back for a third run, Mia and Winfred taking the score to 67. 70, I should say, with that 20 of 23. Winfred playing a fine hand here. Oh! What happened there? The keeper fumbled. That was a straightforward stumping chance. She goofed up, I thought. And then there was an attempt to stump. But it does seem that Winfred is safely back in the crease. That's how it happened. Beautifully bowled though. The bounce probably doing the keeper in, not able to get on top of that and come down in time to take the bails off, and she made a meal of it the first time around. The second time, and she managed to take the bails off when he was in. An eventful over comes to an end. slightly on the expensive side given the circumstances. Kerry Chan, 22 off for 3 overs, 15 gone, 73 for 5. The Southern Jaguars after winning the toss and deciding to bat first.
Well, you mentioned that the lack of bounce has been really key. Yep, as Kerry Chan has been utilizing and maximized most out of it. She's just trying to land the ball at right areas with lack of pace, and that's really troubled the batter. And a couple of occasions when the batter just go for a big hit, as you have seen in the previous over, it does have the legs to go for the boundary, but the lack of pace isn't safely negotiated to go for the boundary. Well, in the bowling point of view, they've saved about 10 to 15 runs in that. Couple of times they've pierced the gaps, but he couldn't race away across the turf. And it's Sunisa, bowling change, pacer into the attack. Well, it's interesting that she's bowling with the fair old ball. Not much movement that you can extract from the surface. But normally paces are kind of dangerous after power plays. And maybe the last overs, but also prone to play ball wides, and that's the very first extra in this over.
They're going at a rate of close to 5. They can get it up to 5.5 around that region, going into the last 2 overs and then tee off from there. Talking about teeing off, hitting in the air just for a single. Sometimes you feel, there are certain shots and risks that you take too good to fetch a single. That's how the game of cricket goes. Sometimes an inside edge can fetch you 4. Sometimes a proper cricketing shot can fetch you none.
Well, luck also plays its role sometimes. Playing a miss there from Miarda. Again, just trying to be over ambitious, but the ambition nowhere being reached at the moment.
Rooted to the crease. Rooted to the crease is no feet movement. Trying to cut the ball, just throwing the bat at it. This time pushed on the offside. Pooja does the fielding. Pooja Mahal bowled a fair bit of whites early on, but took a wicket. When she gets it right, she brings the ball back into right-hander. And any batter is always a candidate for a leg before wicket when she's in operation. And if you miss it, she hits. 74 for 5. Another quiet over, 2 runs coming off it, just the 1 ball to go. There's no doubt that Kerry Chan will be the relatively happier captain at this point. But they will also have the history of the first match today in their minds. That's hit straight to the fielder. A fumble. Had she collected the ball cleanly, it would have been interesting. 16 gone, 75 for 5. Winfred batting on 22 and Mia Arthur batting on 7. 24 balls to go. 75 is the score. This is the Southern Jaguars batting card. Not quite get going today, Kavita Kanwar. A lot we expected of her, but then going for 10. No Dania, going for 2, not much there. And Divya's struggle with the bat continues. Yet another duck to her. Marina threatened to take the game away for a while, but she went for 21 as well. Samira Khan not doing much. And Winfred, she has been playing a very responsible captain's knock so far, but she needs to ensure that the team reaches a good score. With 24 balls remaining at 75, and it is a pretty easy decision for the umpire. Heaving across the line, missing it all together. And when you do that, you're always a prime candidate for an LBW decision going against you.
Yup. Again, it was very straight. A ball that could have been safely negotiated. Instead, she wanted to implement more innovation. But it's completely backfired her as she never got into her stride very well. And a very full delivery to go for the sweep. So poor shot selection has been the downfall for the Southern Jaguar batters. And it's a similar case for Mia Arda here. And it's plumb as it gets. A straightforward decision for the umpire, and only job he had to do was to just raise the finger up. And Frankie, who was wicketless, picks up her first wicket. And it's Noor Alia who has walked in the middle after the departure of Mia Arda. While it's not the best of deliveries that has done, it's just lack of concentration on what to play and what delivery. Slightly fickle-minded, but nonetheless, this really puts in a position where it commences that Central Supergirls are well within their grasp. And it's back to back. This one has breached the defenses of Noor Alia, and Frankie is on a hat-trick. It was a similar scenario in the very first match of the day. And look at that, all 11 are showing signs of love, and they're absolutely loving the way things are swinging for them. And Kerry Chan will be really delighted on Frankie's contribution in this over. Instantly brought back, and she's proving to be an absolute asset to the Central Supergirl side. And it's 7 down for Southern Jaguars. And this has shown signs of a hefty collapse in the batting order. And Winifred from the other end is not a happy captain watching her partners depart in really astonishing fashion. And so far, Frankie has redeemed herself in this over, being back into the attack. The 19-year-old strikes hard and immediately setting a field for her hat-trick delivery. Could it be the very first hat-trick? A hat-trick yet to be registered in this league? And could it be out of Frankie Nicklин's fingers?
Ariana coming close. How close can Frankie be? Safely negotiated. The hat-trick not to be. We had a similar circumstance in the morning when we thought Ariana would clinch the first hat-trick of the tournament. It is Frank. It doesn't matter. She wouldn't bother. So long as the team is doing well, 75 for 7. Having kept the Southern Jaguars quiet and under control, it's been a good performance by the Central Super Girls. Across the line again, a stifled appeal from the wicketkeeper.
Yep, there's a bit of turn offered from the pitch, and I could clearly see that this one had a bit of bounce, and she landed at the perfect spot, almost about the full length area. When they pitch, there's some sort of a turn and movement being exerted from the surface, and Frankie is almost trying to use it to exploit, but nonetheless, this has been the best of overs so far. It's been impressive figures from Frankie here, as is a double blow wicket maiden over, as things are not rolling the way of the Southern Jaguars. And it is 75 for 7.
Straight to the fielder. There's no boundaries coming, and that would be really frustrating for the Southern Jaguars. They need to get a move on. Just 17 deliveries remaining. In order to step it up, the current run rate is 4.43. They would want that to be around the 6 run per over mark. But for the time being, it's the Super Girls doing superbly well. A tentative push from Nurani. She's yet to open her account. 5 deliveries gone without a run for her. Winifred, on the other hand, would be looking to get as much strike as possible at this time. Oh, tentative push. Not quite there with the footwork. There's a shape away. A nice movement. And landed in good areas. Very quiet over. Not exactly what the Southern Jaguars want at this point. Trying to take it on the full, but getting an inside edge. Rather outside edge. And just a single. 2 balls to go in this over. Winifred is back on strike. What can she do?
Well, they have to really shift gears.
What can they do now? Played away on the offside through the fielder. But again, just a single. They need more than that. Looks a little edgy and tentative, Winifred. She has been deprived of the strike lately as well. And the ones are not going to hurt the Super Girls much here. Last ball of the over coming up. Ends with a dot ball. 18 gone, 2 to go, 78 for 7.
Yup, the Southern Jaguar batters shouldn't be really passive and being timid, as they should unleash their A game and go for the boundaries at the very end. They have 3 wickets in hand, which is one thing they should consider while batting. But is of course they would want to mix cautious with aggression. But at the moment, I think taking the aggressive route is what they would want to really set a formidable target for the opposition and maybe make things hard. And as a skipper with high caliber as Winifred is, she would want to really put a good target on and let her bowlers to do the job while Central Supergirls are chasing. But at the moment, it's been a lot of thinking needed for the skipper. And it's on the patch and it's straight. It's drifting on the leg side. Well, she's having a second thought, or maybe it's drifting down leg. But umpire says it's fairly straighter one. Well, as things look, it's not looking good for Winifred. But nonetheless, Aina Hamiza proving to be the pick of the bowler so far. Contain economy and another wicket under her belt.
Winifred didn't want to leave. She was waiting for the evening news, television news, to declare her out. And it shows her disappointment. Maybe, well, it looked close. The shape of the ball is something that the umpire had to take into consideration, but he decided, I'm happy with it. It's straight enough to hit the stumps, and there you go. Anna Hamisa, 3.1 overs, 3 wickets, an economy rate of 3.16. Very, very good performance. Remember, they lost the toss and were asked to field first. And oh boy, haven't they done a very good job of it so far. 78 for 8. Noor Saira comes out to join Nuranis. Very new batters both. What can they do? How much can they put on? What will the end score be? Or will they be bowled out before they're allotted 20 overs? Anything is possible. Any of those possibilities. But for the time being, it is the Super Girls right on top.
Well, Super Girls have really done super stuff in the middle, and they're proving to be even a side that they shouldn't be right off. Again, off the back foot, trying to punch it. No sort of timing, no sort of clue on where the ball is going to land. Shaira just throwing a bat at it. Well, Aina here wants to really finish this smoothly. Off the back foot, trying to punch this one. Then tip of the bat, making contact. It was almost the bat away and the ball. And it's 3 dots with a wicket. One over to spare with a delivery left in this over. And it's Aina who's setting a field to not leak her run. Again, can she have a strong finish? She intends, chips it, not high enough for the fielder to get carried. But the score and the game being carried away from Southern Jaguars as they are really concerned. Super Girls right on top of the game, and it is 79 for 8 in 19 overs. We have arrived to the climax of the first innings between these two.
1 to go. 79 for 8. They wouldn't consider this good enough. The Southern Jaguars, especially after winning the toss and deciding to bat first. Super Girls, on the other hand, would be supremely happy. Kari Chan bringing Pooja on. Pooja Mahato for the last over. The medium pacer. All slanting it in. This should be gone. No, the umpire says no. Maybe an inside edge would have saved her there. Be interesting to take another look at it. For a moment, I thought it was gone. Have a look at it. It's well covering the stumps even before the delivery is bowled. Oh, to me that's plumb, unless there's the bat involved there. Similar one, but this time playing a lemon cut or a Chinese cut as you call it.
Yep, it just flew behind, hitting the bottom of the bat. As you can see, Pooja here trying to get another one from this over. 4 deliveries left, and they've been not all guns blazing, the Southern Jaguars, but so that's whole another level from the Central Super Girls. This is brutal bowling.
White ball. It's all happening. It is all happening. Pooja has bowled a fair number of whites today, but she has also taken 2 crucial wickets. Ball the delivery again. A very identical one. Curving back in. And maybe it's not a bad idea to probably stand slightly outside the crease to negate that.
One of the typical batsmen just trying to be deep in the crease and maybe waiting for the ball to land itself. But could be two ways to play the delivery. It's up to the batter to choose which one she wants. But the umpire could only choose to stretch his arms.
Pooja has been making the umpire stretch a fair bit today. Quite a few wides, 2 in this over alone. Interesting to see if they can get to about 90. We'll have something to bowl at. Driven away on the offside. The gap has been found, but not the pace on the ball. 2 runs being taken. Score moves to 84. 2 balls to go. This is match number 10 and day 5 of the second edition of the Malaysia Super Women League. This match between Southern Super Girls and Southern Jaguars. The latter winning the toss and deciding to bat first, and 83 for 8. Again, coming in, an umpire moves away nonchalantly. Very, very predictable is Pooja with her the strategy, but it's tough to play with her bowling at times, as these batters find out. And that's it. The last ball coming up. What is this going to be? Where is this going to go? Oh, well bowled. A chance of a run out, but not to be. Comes back for a second, and 2 it will be. So they end with a score of 85 in their allotted 20 overs after deciding to bat first, winning the toss. And one suspect that they probably might be unhappy with their performance with the bat. On the other hand, Kerry Chan and co, the Super Girls, will be happy because they did some super job out there.
Yeah, they're on top of the world in the very first innings. But one thing's for sure, you couldn't write the Southern Jaguars off, as a small total is easily being defended, as we witnessed in the very first game. Nonetheless, these are the players they've gone for today, and the only standout innings that we could identify was Winifred, who was playing a valiant innings, just trying to offer some sort of restriction and resistance in the middle, as well as Marina, who had unleashed her shots, but then to be cleaned up by Shafina with an absolute in-swinger. And apart from that, nobody has really proved to be there. And the extra 14 runs just helping in the score, making it to 85. And it is 6 bowlers that they've gone with today. And the pick of the bowlers being Aina Hamiza here, who was really ripping apart the batters, picking up 3 wickets. Wonderful figures there. And the most steadiest of economies we've seen. The steadiest economy I've seen of 2.75. And Frankie Nickling, the only bowler for today who has got nearly to a hat-trick, where we have witnessed one in the previous match, I beg your pardon. And it's Shafina who's got a wicket. And apart from that is Pooja Mahato with the in-swingers. And to swing with more live action, we will be kicking things off after the break with the chase of the Central Supergirls. Well, we are kicking things off with the players stepping onto the field. The ones in the yellow with a thick piece of willow, and the others with all redness. They are walking onto the field to do the fielding job, and it's up for the batters to chase this one down as they have set a formidable target of 85.
Well, when you have a team defending 76 or winning by 13 runs, 86 runs become formidable. But otherwise, it should ideally be a walk in the park for the batting team. Very, very interesting to see, because we still haven't been able to figure out what a par score on this wicket would be. So everything seems set for the start of the second innings of match number 10 on the 5th day of the second edition of the Malaysia Super Women League, coming to you live from the BAYUEMAS Oval here in Malaysia. Kabida into the attack. Oh, that's quick. It's lively. The space on the ball. She has the longest run up in the tournament. Kabida Kanwar. Nice and easy approach into the crease and just gains the momentum, hitting the right areas.
So 2 balls being bowled, a slip being placed. While this one swinging too much, almost towards the first slip. Very, very well bowled, just that missing line.
The usual opening combination of Aina Hamiza and Kerry Chan starting the proceedings for the Super Girls. A quick single, has to hurry. Even if it was a direct hit, I think Aina would have made it comfortably. Good running, good positive running. And we have seen in the first innings that once you get too defensive, what happens? You're digging a hole for yourself and getting into it. You really can't afford to do that. You need to have the intent to score, and that would prevent the bowlers from settling down to a line and length. This is like in the last match. If early wickets are taken, it's going to be very, very interesting. But if they get off to a good start and score at a brisk pace, this match will be over way before time. Kabida. Oh, interested where the slip caught in. The wicketkeeper going up. They feel there was a slight nick, but the umpire says no.
This is hostile bowling there. Look at that one. Lands it round at the good length, and it almost beat everything there. An absolute pearler. Was just kind of unfortunate that she couldn't prize a wicket there. And almost that Kerry Chan's stance is the one that is being the problem. at times, but she's normally very aggressive. Again, right on the channel she's bowling at. Kabita Kanwar causing a lot of trouble for the Central Super Girls keeper. She's more on the leg side, knowing there's no sort of protection apart from a short mid wicket and a deep fine leg. She's almost trying to tuck it around the corner. If possible, the ball is trying to drift along the leg side. Well, firm bat onto it. She's really confident. From the way she's playing, the body language just shows you that she might not get runs early, but she has the intention to go forward. Well, a slow start, and Chan is not off the mark yet. It's 2 for naught in the very first over. So it's Noor Dania who's going to bowl from the Golden Hope, and that has really give fortunes for the spinners, as 18 wickets have come from there in all tournament. And look at that, immediately right on the money.
Some intent, but straight to the fielder. Two for no loss. The asking rate is 4.5. That's hit in the gap. Was in the air for a while, but no risk whatsoever. And racing down to the fence for 4. Hitting through, long off, and that's the first boundary of the Super Girls innings. 6 for no loss.
Well,
After the boundary, just steering it down to the next side for a quick single. Good cricket.
Yep, it was almost pitched right on the slot, and she just relished on it. An opening boundary, very well played. The thing is that she might have just dragged her length a little bit, could have possibly restricted the boundary, but instead she went in early, picked up length early, and just bopped it straight down the ground. So it's Chan to face, yet to get off the mark. And this will keep her account running. First runs of the match for the skipper. Fuller, and just trying to glide this one onto backward point region. Delicately played, and Aina is adding more runs onto. And this is 9 for no loss in 2 overs. Well, as I'm saying, slow and steady wins the race. Looks like they have gone with the same kind of approach at the moment here, as they would just have to chase 77 from their remaining 18 overs with just an asking rate slightly above 4. A real walk in the park kind of target you would expect, but things wouldn't look the same, reminding of the very first match of this morning.
So decent start. They have gotten off to Kabita to commence her second over. And the moment I said decent start, the Southern Jaguar girls have brought themselves into the equation. Kabita giving them the first breakthrough. That was the straight ball. That was quick. And the batter trying to heave it across the line and paying the ultimate prize. That was hitting the middle of the middle stump. First wicket down. Aina Hamisa walks back to the pavilion. And in 2.1, it is 9 for 1, chasing 86 for victory.
Yup. Well, it's not the best of shot selections. They're trying to get down and sweep it across. But it's one of the best deliveries we've seen so far. Just utilizing the swing for herself. And Kabita Kandwa is really good at it. She might have not connected with the ball, but she's definitely clicking with the... Sorry, I might correct myself. She might be not clicking with the bat, but definitely with the ball at the moment when things are just swinging her way, as she's found an immense breakthrough that will really lift up the spirits here in the middle. She would want the slip to come and play again this time.
She's working at a good pace. This time bowling it wide. She's hurrying the batters. And what a pretty sight it is when a fast bowler runs in, hurries the batter. Never a dull moment in the game of cricket when a top order batter is facing quality. He's bowling. Slip in place. Beautiful shape. Beautiful shape and a tentative push outside the off. Pooja Mahato. It's an all Nepali battle happening now. We got Marina coming into the slip cordon. She probably might be chirping her way away as well. Never a quiet character. Again, that's again a good shape, a loud appeal, almost a plead and almost an afterthought. The umpire gives his verdict. The dreaded finger goes up. That's wicket number 2. Pooja stay at the crease, allows only 2 balls. And is this match also going in the same lines as what we saw in the first? Here we go. This is how it happened. Beautifully bowled. I was very, very confident was Kabita. And umpire taking his time and finally deciding that is out. And the finger goes up. 10 for 2.
Well, it's almost test match bowling here. You can see right on the test match line. And she's able to get about a swing and almost square the batter up. Just falling for the trap, the Pooja was trying to work it on the offside, but the only thing she could find is the outside edge through to the keeper, and no mistake there, just picking up the pieces. And almost a deja vu from the comp box, and wherever you're watching here, this surely brings a lot of memories of the very first match today.
The heat has subsided. Slightly overcast conditions. What a great time for being a fast bowler. Oh! That was another pleading. She was begging, saying, come on, give it out, that's out. And then the umpire saying, yes, that's out. His dream spell happening. 86 isn't the big target, but making a heavy weather of it are the super girls here. 10 for 3, we are in the 3rd over. Which way is the match heading? This is shocking stuff, but absolutely exhilarating stuff as well to call from the commentary box. And we have a bunch of excited commentators. And it's time for me to hand it over to one, which is Aryan Premji.
Well, before there's a change in the bowling here, look at that. That's an absolute pearler. Dead on to hit the stump, but umpire had all the time to decide whether he hit the stump or not. And the rest of the team just emerging towards Kabita, almost being a savior for the side, was not letting this slipping out of the hand. Again, when things were not under the control, and they are proving once again they couldn't be written off in any sort of scenario. Well, it's almost a deja vu. Well, how many times and how many sort of drama this day is going to really enlighten us up. And with that, I introduce my co-commentator, Mr. Aryan.
Yes, a very good afternoon. Not the best hat-trick delivery you'll see out there. Just putting it outside off. Should have loved to attack the stumps for the hat-trick delivery, but not to be. But what an over this has been. Barring the wide, it's been an absolute thriller of an over. 3 wickets in this over, and we're not done yet. Kavita honing in for her final delivery. Slip in place. It's much better. Fuller this time. Looks to make the batter drive. In the end, that's the end of the third over. 10 for 3. 76 now. Looking a long way away from here.
Well, she's absolutely ripped apart the batters today in this over. Look at that. What a comeback from her. Just one run being offered, and rest has been relentless and ruthless from Kavita. She has just stole the show away from any sort of player today who's fairly impressed and brought her team back alive in this contest. Solid defense from the skipper of Central Supergirls, who definitely feels the heat, though the heat has really faded away due to the absence of the sunlight.
Stem just a low full toss down the leg side, just swept away by Chan. Nordanya will have to support her opening partner Kavita if they are to make a match out of this. Certainly in the balance now this game. Early wickets was the key, and early wickets is exactly what the Southern Jaguars have provided to bring some life into this contest. Frankie in at number 5 is just taking her time. Stem a full toss and doesn't need a second invitation. We just mentioned that Nordanya needs to support Kavita, but that's not the best of starts. It's going to give Frankie a lot of confidence with that. Just middle one. Highish full toss, and with nobody behind square on the boundary, asking for trouble.
Yup, as things look to tighten the screws, and they immediately unscrew those, and that's a juicy full toss to really put away, and Frankie did it in style. Good placement as well.
It's good batting this, just getting the over pitch delivery. Already got the boundary, just rotate the strike. Skipper Chan, all the onus will be on her now. She will know that she needs to stay there for quite some time. They have to chase the score down. 4 overs done. It's a good comeback by Nordanya after conceding the boundary. 6 runs off it. 16 for 3. Central Supergirls. Kavita will be continuing. No way you're taking the ball off her hands right now. Looks in red hot form. So ball looking for a quick single. Goes behind square for a single.
Yep, it's absolutely aesthetically pleasing to watch her bowl. The way she runs, comes, and lands it right at the correct areas. And it's a sight to watch when she just swings it away from the batter. And that has brought immense success in her bowling, especially when she was running right in the previous over, picking up not one, two, but three wickets in just an over.
Slide misfield there at backward point allows a single. Defending 85. They need to be up to the mark with the fielders. See the conditions getting slightly overcast. Nothing threatening for now. Hope that we can finish this game before the potential rain arrives. Certainly more pleasing conditions to be batting and fielding on compared to the morning. Off the back foot, quick single and slight misfield allows them to come easily. She picked it up. It could have been trouble. Dania there. Ball seems to be following her at the moment. At the backward point area, definitely a hot spot with both these batters. Again, outside edge, just over the slips.
Yeah, but thick outside it just flew over the slips, which shows signs of getting a wicket here. She's trying to angle it away, and she's done exactly that. And always asking the questions is Kavita at the moment. She's knocking the door, just allowing her foot to be entered. And she could maybe scalpel another one in this over, which is really eyeing forward for. Slightly back of a length. Trying to nip this one in. Almost in a grave, we could see that she's trying to work it coming back in to the right hander. Well, run a ball so far in this over, keeping the Central Super Girls on the right track. And it's smooth pace they're going. Well, it's interesting to see how Kari Chan has been playing, as she is way off the three sticks, playing more like side edge. And when the ball lands in, she gets into original stance and then play her shots. Very, very smart from her. Well, she's trying to really work on the leg side. If any sort of delivery is trying to drift off her pads, and when coming in the off, she plays on the offside. Smart batting from the skipper. Well, that's what experience gives you, giving more freedom and enable you to be free flow with the shots. Well, as creativity has been a really crucial thing in T20s, as we have witnessed with Marina in the very first innings. Just unfortunate, couldn't get a very, very big innings that she would wanted. And Winifred was done the job with the bat. She's opted to bowl as well.
Good start there, right on the money. Just full, asking the batter to drive with the packed offside field. 5 fielders patrolling that area. The extra cover mid-off region. It's cut away in the gap. It's running away to the boundary. Will it go all the way? Yes, it will. It's a good shot there by Frankie. Looking good now. She gets herself into double figures. Winifred just slightly wider of off, and with everyone inside the circle, doesn't need any second invitation. Good effort there at the extra cover region, but cannot prevent the boundary. As you see a change in the field now, extra cover goes back, fine leg comes in. Need to ensure she's just bowling the same line and length outside off now.
Straight, had hint of movement coming back into the right hand. Frankie could just defend that one.
This time down the leg side. It's not the best piece of bowling. She just brought the fine leg in. And she just sprays one down the leg side. She's not happy. She knows that she's definitely missed her line and length there. Let's have a look at this again. Fine leg inside the circle, just down the leg side. And Jackie doesn't need a second invitation. Frankie on 16 already. I'm sure wide will be widened by the umpire. Just an overcorrection. After that wide down the leg side.
Well, this has fairly been the expensive over so far. 9 coming off just 4 deliveries. And definitely pressure is on the skipper who's bowling at the moment. That's a much better line and much better length, but the effort was not so. But she's fairly lucky that someone has backed her up behind.
What this over has done also is that it's reduced the pressure on the batting side and especially the skipper Chan. She knows that she can just keep playing the way she is now that the birdie got enough runs. And this time chips it in the air, and just as we talked about the pressure being released, Winifred, take a bow. Just taken a wicket, and what a catch that was at mid-on. Marina there. One of the better catches in this tournament. So Frankie, after getting herself off to a very good start, has thrown it away. There's no need for that shot. The birdie got 9 runs off the over. But she chose to come down the wicket and just play the half shot, and that's a good catch there at mid-on. And just stumbles over to ensure that she's got the ball in her grasp. Just as things were getting easier for Central Supergirls, a wicket has just tilted the balance back in favor of the Southern Jaguars.
Yep, as soon as she saw the ball was being aerial and airborne, she knew exactly that the fielder was right there to take the catch. And it was some sort of a hard shot when she went down the track, tried to play it, and as soon as she knew that there wasn't much power going on, it was always a risk. And she ultimately paid the price when she lose a wicket. And a good catch by Marina there. Long hands and able to clung on that one. So the story is the power play is over, and we have seen fierce power plays, and these are one of them. 30 or 4, 6 gone.
Interestingly, we'll see a bowling change. There might have been the temptation in the mind of the skipper Winfrida to continue bowling with Kabita, who's bowled her 3 overs and gotten the 3 wickets. There might have been a temptation for her to just continue with Kabita, but she's decided to change the bowling and bring in Divya. Keep her up to the stumps. Going to be bowling her offies. A false start down the leg side. Field is well spread, 4 fielders on the boundary. Deep square leg, long on, extra cover and a long off. Not too sure about that. We like to see one more extra fielder inside. Chan is just betting on 4 runs. Short ball pulled away in the gap. It's running away to the boundary. a good shot by Chan, just to once again release the pressure.
Once again, a delivery. Well, she started off with a false one, and this one again was drifting down the leg side, and it's always inviting her to hit. With one knee down, she just pulls it away, and she's papped it. What a shot! Take a bow, Kari Chan. She had enough of defending that one. And an opportunity. A close one. We've seen plenty of close calls in this tournament. Well, they wouldn't want to get a mix up out of it. As things stand, is an even Steven contest. Runs on the board. Well, it's been even Steven, and runs has been scored as well. Just the asking rate is also in the favor of the Central Super Girls. It's just that the wickets have tumbled quite a bit in the power play.
Shafina facing her first delivery, and that's a misfield. Cannot afford that. That was right in her hands, and there was no power in it either. It was just a front foot defense, which is given away. A single to get Shafina off strike and off the mark. Not the most ideal thing at this point for Divya and the Southern Jaguars.
It's a juicy full toss, and with the way that Divya is bowling, she had smartly placed a fielder in the deep on the leg side, precisely at the mid wicket area. Well, a good attempt to go for the big hit. While Chan, who's just entered a double figures, is starting to feel for this. Again, a gentle tap towards the offside. Shafina. Well, Divya has not had a day planned. She couldn't get off the mark today. She would want to really contribute a best for her bowling, and that was the closest she have come for a wicket. It was travelling towards the offside fielder, more conclusively towards the mid-off region. Couple of step forwards, maybe in the palms of the fielder. Nonetheless, it's been a slightly expensive over, and things just rolling for CSG as they need 47 from the remaining 13 overs, with a run rate just under 4, about 3.5 and above. Well, that's the thing. The collapse in the power play has led them to a bit of situation where they need to be slightly cautious in the shot selection, as that has led on many batters that couldn't really lengthen their stay at the crease. So maybe they should be cautious at the same time. Trying to finish this game as early as possible is what would be running behind the mind of the skipper of Central Super Girls. As for Winifred and Co, would want to defend a minimal total of 85 at the moment seem slightly daunting for the ones in yellow. Flicked it nicely off the pads, exploiting the vacant region there.
Yeah, it's been good in the past 2 overs. We've just been rotating the strike and have also got the occasional boundary. So once again, tilting the favor back in the Central Super Girls' favor. Winifred scored a wicket, yes, but she's been on the expensive side. Want to make amends for that. Love another wicket here at this point. Well bowled, but just chipped in the gap and should come back for a second. That's good placement and good running. Managed to come back for a second. Winifred just changing the field now. The mid wicket comes in, deep square leg goes back. Also got a long on and a long off, which I'm not too sure about. Bring some fielders in now. In the wickets as we see a leading edge, but falls in no man's land and they manage a single again. So the runs are coming. Somehow need to stem the flow. The easy singles on offer at the moment. With just 43 runs remaining and 43 runs scored. Already halfway. Winifred just needs to ensure that the bowling dot balls on a regular basis now. Just to increase the pressure. Once again, even for Shafina. Got 4 fielders on the boundary. I'd like to see mid-off coming in. If not the mid-wicket fielder. Outside edge once again. Down to third man, just a single.
Well, tactical wise, the Southern Jaguars have been really comprehensive. The regular field change according to the way they've been bowling, and when there are some setbacks when the bowlers aren't backing up the field, there's an immediate change, and you could see that the bowlers have really tuned themselves according to the field as well. It's just that they are not just right there to maybe get a feeling that they would smell victory at the moment. Well, as things stands, superstitiously, the Southern Jaguars should be a bit aware of, as the only team so far in this tournament to chase down is the Western Wonder Women, winning by 9 wickets against the Northern Queens. In their very first outing, Northern Queens have fallen short as they only put up a score of 90, whereas been easily chased in the span of 12 overs. Apart from that, none other team has managed to chase. The closest one was today morning, where it was a walk in the park kind of score of 76. Unfortunately, Northern Queens fell short after their impressive bowling display in the very first innings. Well, could be a similar sort of situation here. Really stunning figures and, well, top tier bowling display in the very first innings by the Central Super Girls. But is it enough for them, or is it comfortable for them to chase 40 in the next 12 overs? Only time can tell us through.
At the moment, Central Super Girls going well, but as you mentioned, only once has the team batting second won a game in this tournament. So if they needed any confidence or any booster, this is exactly the information they would love to hear. It's important that they don't lose their confidence and their morale. This is a better field now. Mid-off is in. It's only a a long gone rather, and a mid-wicket. And it's bowled! That is a full shot. If ever there was one, just a full toss, a straight delivery. And she played all around it and missed it. And she has to depart. Just going across the line. Let's have a look at this again.
Well, this one was a really fighted and a tilted delivery, almost an absolute loosener. Well, again, is the shot selection that has not been up par. This one, she tried the slog sweep. This one, maybe a different kind of shot, could have seen her playing in different ways, but unfortunately, she threw a wicket cheaply. And again, the damage has been done, and half the side being packed, and they've made a meal out of it. And so far, it looks like the Southern Jaguars are back in the contest, despite the healthy run rate that has been flowing smoothly.
Yeah, this just brings the match back into the balance now. Half the side gone. Not much betting left. It'll be interesting to see now. Divya managed to get herself amongst the wickets despite going for 9 in her first over. Good faith shown in her by the captain. And now the captain is all on the attack. Everybody inside the circle. Here we go. Here's Dina, the new batter. But delivery just defends. It came right off the meat of the bat. I'm not too sure what the appeal was for.
Well, it's impressive to see that Divya has really come back. Well, it's not the sort of delivery that she would expect that she would want to bowl to a batsman at high with such high caliber. It's just that she completely misjudged the length, and again, is a bit of turn being offered. That's the area that she should be trying to land on. But coming back to the point, is just that slight misjudgment or maybe lack of concentration during the batting. Maybe blindsided, and maybe pressure was building up behind her mind. The batter, there's a lot of things. Does she get through the gap? Maybe not.
It's been a very, very good over now. After that wicket, she's been right on the money. And good captaincy against Winfrida. Just attacking here. She's got herself at a short point. Looking for anything uppish or any drop where they're looking for a quick single. Let's just see a full toss in. Winfrida was almost in action there at the backward point region. Just fall short of her. This is what the pressure of the situation can do. It's a full toss, but she's missed out there on a boundary. And last delivery of the over, so Winfrida decides to spread the field, give the single to Irdina. I think once again that's the right move. Don't mind if she takes a single. This time she just defends it back to the bowler. The wicket maiden by Divya. What an over this has been. It's just brought some life back into this contest. After 9 overs, Central Super Girls 46 for 5.
Well, it's a kind of norm that my partner is saying Giants, but they really have giant spirits amongst themselves. Look at that. They came out and they would want to bat. It's just that they're not going very forward. It's been the team who's really bowling well at the first, but while they're chasing, it's sorts of feeling that the target is very gigantic and maybe mammoth for them out of sudden. It's just that maybe the lack of confidence and the optimism is on the cards for the batters. It's just that Kerry Chan is the only woman they really hope for a gem of an innings. And always a captain's knock is well worthy, as we've seen plenty in the international T20 arena. And even in this entire series we've watched, including Indu Burma's valuable innings, though it's a losing or winning cause, always the captain of the ship is a priceless innings to play and watch for. And exploits that gap, but just didn't have the legs to reach the boundary.
Yeah, just a single there. Not the worst thing to have happened for the Southern Jaguars that love to bowl to the new batter, Irdina now. Captain Winfrida looking to take charge from the front. Once again, aggressive field setting. Got a short cover in place just for that chip. Everyone else inside the circle barring a third man. He looks for the drive and cannot connect. Winfrida has been slightly on the expensive side. She knows that she is a wicket taker. She has to lead from the front, and that's what she's doing. She's managed to get a wicket. Well played this time by Irdina. Just needs to give enough support to Chan. 10 overs left after this. Still got quite some time. Just 38 runs. They know that if they do play the 20 overs, they will emerge victorious. Some driven, just opens the face, gets it behind square. Will just be a single. They're looking for a second, but decide against it, and rightly so. Fielder returns an excellent throw there.
Well, in the halfway mark, you couldn't pick one side that who could win. There are moments that the yellows have been going blazing and the reds all of a sudden just roaring hard against them. You can't pick a side. And the match is fairly evenly poised, but slightly in favor of the team who won the toss at the moment.
Again down the leg side, and it's running away as well. Is it going to go? No. That's good fielding in the end. But these are runs that they cannot afford to give. Winfrida second wide off the over. She's just not getting her line and length correct. And the keeper not helping with that either. Let's have a look again. Just down the leg side. And the keeper messed it all, ends up. Should have been stopped. Good fielding on the boundary to keep it down to just a single. 2 deliveries left in the over. On the offside, everyone's just attacking, looking for anything uppish. At the moment, it's just beaten on the outside edge.
And that's one of the most satisfying things to really watch as a bowler, getting right past the edge and feeling absolutely disgusted when the ball is running behind you and the keeper's not helping you as well. So it's been completely contrasting deliveries that Winifred has been bowling, slightly inconsistent, which in the future that she would really want to correct herself. In the course of the game, she couldn't afford to do middle school stuff. And it still ended the over possibly, which she ended with a good one. Yep, just letting off a single, and most importantly, 50 is up, or 52 I suppose, for the Central Super Girls. Just only 34 needed out of their rest 60 deliveries. A runner ball could ensure them winning this game. And half of side needed to be priced and to make a meal out of them if they would want to win the Southern Jaguars. Could they do justice for what they've done with the toss? Let's take a break for now.
Welcome back to all our viewers. We're here in the last game of the group stages, and we're here into the last quarter of this game. The last 10 overs. It's going to be a thriller, I am sure. 10 overs left. 34 runs needed with only 5 wickets in hand. You would think the batting side are on top, but you never know. Seen funnier things happen in the game of cricket, and we've seen that this morning itself, where a target of 76 runs was not chased. So 85 is definitely also defendable. As we see, Divya bowled slightly expensive first over, but a maiden in a second is coming back for her third. Flighted, driven, no run. Again, everybody inside the circle. Nobody outside the 30 yard, which is great to see. skipper Winfrida is attacking.
Full face of the bat, but only could find the fielder and mid off. Well, the sky high emotions are there, so the stakes are high. A match winner here could possibly see them being right comfortable and maybe get a good spot at the qualifiers. Ooh, a big heave, a play and a miss here for Adrina, who was being very passive and not able to get the runs on the board.
It's been 9 dot balls on the trot, bowled by Divya. She's come back really well after an expensive first over. Bringing in all her experience, beaten again on the outside edge. She's playing inside the line at the moment.
Bowling right through the corridor is what Divya has been doing so far. A line that really troubles a batter, even too good for any top order batsman as well. Flighted delivery, almost a low full toss, finds the edge of the bat, precisely bottom edge, and she's on course for another maiden over as she sends one fielder in the deep. It's cow corner region. Again, trying to go for the big shots. Unsuccessful another occasion. And this has been back-to-back maiden overs for Divya. Impressive stuff in the middle, putting the pressure right back onto the batters. And Adrina, well, she could only stay but not score. 52 for 5.
Yeah, I don't think they should mind that. Divya is bowling really well here. She's just getting a line and length right in the right areas. So they wouldn't mind that one bit. As long as both these batters are still out there, the run rate is still well within reach. Just 3.8 to the over is needed. So they don't need to do anything funky, anything fancy.
But surely they will want to finish in real fancy style. So both teams, there's a lot to battle in the next 9 overs. There's still another chapter being written here. But
Interesting to see. We have a 5-4 leg side field. 3 fielders on the leg side boundary.
She sweeps it and cow corner, just settling it, but then it was way out of her reach. It was almost traveling straight to her, having not moved an inch, but unfortunately the ball dipped in the very right end.
More spin being introduced in the form of Mia Arda. Interesting to see how she fares. Everybody inside the circle once again. Strengthening of the offside field going on. 2 fielders in the cover region. Just uppish and finally manages to get a run. Does Erdina. It's been a while coming for her.
Yep. Knowing that Adrina is a bit of a slow-paced batter, they're just trying to keep her on strike, and that's why they really want to tighten the field and maybe just trying to lower the run rate and build the pressure off from the other end and let the skipper do all the hard work. Well, talking about hard work, this was played effortlessly as it was a half track and always giving the invitation to put away, and she just did it in style. What a shot, what a player Curry Chan is. And all the burden on her shoulders. She's taking charge in the middle. Drifting down the leg side. Middle's the bat. And when you're playing in that direction of the field, it's going to race across the turf.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that it's important that Chan doesn't do anything out of the ordinary. She goes down the ground. This time it's running away again to the boundary. Will it go all the way? No, that's good fielding there by Marina. Keeps it down to a couple. But it's really necessary at this point that Chan does not lose her wicket. Nothing funny. As we look at this, slightly flighted, straight down the ground. Because we all know that if Chan loses her wicket here, then this game could well be within the grasp of the Southern Jaguars. But at this moment, they're going really well. They've already got 8 runs off this over. Just 26 needed now from 50 deliveries. Pulled away this time once again, just a single.
Well, it's complete turnaround from the very first over previously, as was going with series of dots, 6 dot balls, and as a maiden over. This one, they've just been leaking runs and 3 runs being awarded. Well, it was just one step away from being in the palms of Marina there. A desperate dive needed to take the catch, but it wasn't enough, as it needed a full stretch to maybe get those one. This is what happened in the middle. A tossed up delivery, inviting her to play it. Well, this is good cricket all around. A lot of intentions being showcased in the middle. It's 62 for 5. Well, this is the way that the graph is going. Well, Central Super Girls were under par in the very, very first 3 overs. Look at that. The steepness and the gradient of the graphs being steadily increased after the 6th over. Look at the power play. There's a couple of dots there which indicates the wicket have fallen in those certain areas. Again, more spin action, but they couldn't afford to leak a lot of runs again. Much better.
I think spin is the way to go, but need to ensure they're more disciplined. Don't have too many runs to play with, just 24 needed now. Just over 3 runs and over. It's in the air. Will this be taken? What a catch that is! Oh no, it's put down. She had it all the way until the end moment. Divya, that's an excellent effort, but she'll be disappointed to have put that down after getting there and having it in her grasp. Let's have a look. She did all the hard yards and it just popped out of her hand.
Would you say luck or really a split second change? Maybe she was slightly stable upon her fall on the ground. She would have had it on her palms. Unfortunately, just couldn't stick. Great effort in the field. A lot of heroics drama needed in that one. But Adrina trying to be slightly aggressive and almost had threw a wicket away.
Yeah, but I get the idea. I think if there's someone who has to take charge right now, it has to be Ardina. Chan has to ensure she remains not out till the end.
Yep, the skipper navigating very, very smoothly, and they would want to land safe and maybe play it rather safe from now on. Well, she goes high and straight to the fielder. As I was saying, to maybe not glance or maybe being funky and fancy here, as she throws the wicket, chipping it straight to the man and mid off. As she was sailing very, very smoothly with no waves coming upon her, and she has dug her own hole and buried herself into it.
Let's have a look again. Mid off inside the circle, inviting the batter to go over, and she obliged, but couldn't get the connection just off the bottom of the bat. And what a wicket this is! Just as the momentum was shifting towards the Central Super Girls, it's shifted back in the balance now with 6 down and 2 new batters, relatively new batters rather, with Ardina just being on 5 of 20 deliveries. So they would hope that the struggle continues for the Central Super Girls in order for Southern Jaguars to hop back into this contest. Happy faces at the moment in the dugout or in the field for the Southern Jaguars.
But could Central Super Girls break the curse for the team second who was chasing? So far, it's been only the Triple W's who managed to accomplish it. And Central Super Girls are right. Well, they're putting the test whether they could chase the 23 runs from the remaining 7.3 overs.
They've got an extra fielder on the ground, the throw there. Beautifully ball, first delivery. Back to the cricket.
Well, I'm glad you actually made such observations that you mentioned the Crow is being part of the game. Looks like Crow is enjoying cricket in a very fine afternoon.
Quick single there. Will this be a run out? Oh, it was a directed. I am sure this was a wicket. As we can see from the reactions of the fielders, they knew that this could have been curtains for the batter if it had hit. Let's have a look again. Good intention with a quick single, but was straight to the fielder. Was well hit, and I'm sure that was a wicket. The bowler was like, why didn't you hit it in my hands? This time they wisely decide against a single. Good over this for Nordania. Just the 2 runs and a wicket. Still 22 runs to win with 4 wickets in hand. And 7 overs to go. Don't go anywhere, Fox. We're in for a game.
"42 deliveries left, 22 deliveries needed." Well, when the skipper was sent right back to the pavilion, the team has almost lost the glimmer of hope. But looking at the score is well within their grasp still yet. A decent run rate going. 22 runs just needed of 42. They just have to believe. Go with the positive mindset. Let the bat do the job. And well, from now on, you couldn't expect bad deliveries to come onto you, as for the Southern Jaguars, they're really bowling very well. It's just that the batters have to come out from the comfort zone and maybe strike a few boundaries. And again,
well, Flighted just slows it up and gets some sharp turn on it. Good to see the skipper. Good to see the skipper trusting Mia Arda with her second over after being slightly expensive in her first. Once again, nobody outside the 30-yard circle on the boundary. Punched off the back foot straight to the fielder went Fida. 3-dot deliveries. Up Shan, this could be a run out, or is it? Oh, the throw was slightly high. There's definitely a run out on the cards. Everything seems to be happening here. A lot of pressure here in this game. A lot on the line for both these sides. A place in the qualifier. Once again, punch but straight to the fielder. Slightly shorter. Love to see her flight the ball a bit more. One delivery left in the over, and still the field is not spread. Interesting to see. They're okay to give away the boundary if the batter is willing to risk it. Sam looks to cut and misses. Maiden over that. What a comeback it has been by Mia Arda. So now 6 overs left. 22 runs needed. Required run rate approaching that 4 runs and over now. It's
just a matter of time on which team would want to be at the upper hand. Southern Jaguar needs wickets. Central Super Girls need runs. But who could fancy all their chances? We have to wait and see. But at the moment, it looks like toss are flipped for the batting side. Straight down the ground and straight to the fielder. More success and more fortunes have been brought up here in the middle as Southern Jaguars get another one. Good fielding effort, a tossed up delivery, tempting to hit down the ground, but unfortunately couldn't get the connection. While Idrina's stay has been really long at the crease, but the contribution seemed very brief. Well, this occasion she said that I have had enough. I want to play my shots. Unfortunately, it has been backfired at the moment, and Southern Jaguars are really delighted, and they believe they could really sum this match up on their favor.
So what a wicket this has been. 7 down now all of a sudden. How many times has this game ebbed and flowed from one side to the other?
Yep, it's almost swinging like a pendulum. When one strikes, another just almost being dampened.
And lucky to get away there. We'll have to wait and see the umpire signal. There's no signal from the umpire. It's runs. But lucky to get away there. That was a gift first up, but the batter fails to oblige. Yeah, with back. Mosfera.
Well, it almost looks like a counter-attack all of a sudden from the Southern Jaguars here. Well, they fail a bit in order to put up a really good total, and all of a sudden a walk in the part score looks really daunting and formidable.
Again, quick single there. That's all they need at the moment. Just some sanity and some rotation of strike. They're doing that at the moment. 2 runs already in this over. Can they find another wicket here? Once again, everybody inside the circle as the bowler decides to come around the wicket just to change things up and put some doubt in the batter's mind.
Sing coming around. But there's a bit of turn, I reckon, from that delivery. You could see that it's almost having a doosra effect in that one. That's the thing, they're just trying to make utmost use of the conditions here. And Central Super Girls are just 20 runs short of winning. While it was just well within the popping crease. As it's 5 overs, we are nearing the death overs of the match. And the final overs of the group stages as well. So 66 for 7, 3 wickets in hand. And on course of beating or maybe breaching the curse of chasing is well and truly a hefty task. Was a slow one and just roll on the carpet. Absolutely spectacular there. Again, Ainur being troubled. Well, this one drifting down the leg side, but it was very close to the batter, so the umpire says it's not an extra. Well, before chance stay, it was fairly a run in every over they could play, but as long as she departed, it looks like the tail enders are failing to score the runs, because that Mia was very expensive in the very first over, and a strong comeback bowling and a maiden over, and this one again pulls it into the gap, and in that direction it usually races, but it has a fair bumpy roads along the way. And Musfira, who has been stagnant in scoring the runs, finally gets some on the board, but asking rate is slowly escalating. A run the ball would do. And again tucks it around the corner. Smart placement by Musfira again. Well, no better players to ask for both of them in the middle to actually do the saviour job. Just 70 needed. Well, for some, well, it's that all, but for them, it looks like an Everest to climb for. It's a tossed up one. failing to utilize, and it's a directed. Well, she was slightly reluctant to get back on her crease. Well, usually they will just try to scare and maybe do a fake run out, and in this occasion maybe she would want to go for the throw, and it was slightly on the slower side when she had feed it onto the stumps, and the batsman instantly shocked. But so as the scoreline being on the favor of the Southern Jaguars. Look at the tossed up, trying to drive this one. Well, not such good calling in the middle, and the one of the non-strikers and in disgust punches the ground.
Yeah, this game now you think in the grasp of Southern Jaguars. Runs are not coming, but the wickets are 8 down now. With 4 overs left, I beg your pardon. 17 runs needed, and not the best piece of running has caused a slightly set batter to depart. Now two new batters, relatively new batters. What a direct hit that was in the previous over by the fielder.
Well, how many times would be blessed with a low scoring thriller, and this is one of them as well. It's almost a reincarnation of an innings or a match that has been showcased here. Well, an 85, it's a score that is really under par in international arenas. Even scores of 260 in a T20s aren't enough, but scores like 85 look like a daunting score for a team to chase. And it's almost being a curse at the middle that chasing team can't complete their chase.
Divya comes back. This time, it's a full toss that's been pulled through mid wicket. Just a single. 2 wickets left, 16 runs needed. Can't pick a winner yet. Looking equally possible for both sides as we see an inside edge. Leaving dangerously here are the two batters. Divya would love another wicket here. How desperate are the sides for this victory?
Well, Divya has really toiled hard, trying to aim for another one. A lot of inside edge onto pads. And this one just driving it again. Just trying to pile the dots. Yet to see Kabita Kanwar being introduced. Yet she has a few overs left in her quota. It will be extremely dangerous. And a desperate one. This should be a run out chance, and a directed for Marina. While it's almost comical to watch what's happening in the middle, desperation is just getting under their skin.
Marina just doesn't miss the stumps. That's her second direct hit in 4 deliveries. Wow, what are we witnessing? Going down like 9 pings here are the Central Super Girls. Let's have a look at this run out again. Good piece of fielding first, and then to effect the direct hit. Just chose the right end, and the keeper was not needed. Like, what am I here for? Marina says, I don't need you, I just hit it directly. Wow, wow, wow. 16 runs looks like a long, long way away now with just 1 wicket left.
Well, brilliant piece of fielding, and overall the fielding effort has been really, really good. But the running in between the wickets has been not at its best, as it comes right down the wire. 1 wicket needed, and they could really put the icing on the cake. A teasing line again. It's just a matter of time whether the wicket comes. But still, resistance not offered. They just have to hanging around there, but also put the runs on the scoreboard. Trying to sweep it. It's well outside the line of off some, I reckon. Well, a real desperate appeal from Divya, pleading almost.
Yeah, she was not happy at all with the decision, but I think the right decision was made. Slightly on the higher side. Let's have a look at this again. Nothing short, to be honest, and struck her above the pads near the thigh. I think that would be slightly on the higher side. So 3 overs left now, 16 runs needed. It's getting tight. Almost 6 runs per over needed now. Interestingly, the skipper decides to bring herself on. Still haven't seen the last over from Kavita. Still has an over left. I'm sure we'll see her as Winfrida bowling her last over. Winfried continuing slightly wider first delivery.
Onto the block holder. Smart bowling. Well, that's the thing that they would want to finish strongly, not letting a single batter get the run. And Winifred is exactly doing that. It will be the most magnificent fashion to finish off a skipper picking up the last wicket.
Required run rate now above 6 runs per over with that dot. So definitely they do need the runs now. Central Super Girls on the verge of defeat in this contest.
And I think outside edge. Maybe the outside edge would have seen through the keeper. You would have ended the proceedings. Instead, it just flies over the slips cordon. Well, there's no slips around the region. Well, Winnie is just trying hard to get that wicket she wants. And there's no Shwana who hasn't made off the mark. A slower one. Well, that's a slight inside edge onto pad. And immediately when he made contact with the bat, Winifred knew exactly what was happening there. It was a close call.
Certainly does look like an LBW candidate, though. Does the batter in at number 11, already covering her stumps, and doesn't look like the best in terms of her defense when it's on the stumps. This time well defended. 15 runs now needed of 2 overs at 7.5 per over. And as expected, it's going to be Kavita.
Yeah, maybe the batter's defense aren't great, but surely Southern Jaguars have a game that they would want to defend for. And it's 15 needed of 2. A really high task, a task that they would want to do, which would end real dramatic fashion. We've seen one in the previous match. Could be witnessed here. It's just that no team apart from Triple W's have chased. That score was 90 and this one it's 85.
I think at this point they could afford to keep the fielders on the boundary, because I know 2 of 13, yes, but you don't want to give away a free boundary now. Rather give her the single if need be and get the number 11 on strike. At the moment it's just a deep third man and deep fine leg on the boundary. Just defended. Not too sure what the thinking is here. They need some boundaries, and I know knows that no Shwana is a proper number 11. She needs to take the onus on herself. But Kavita looking for a 4-4, the second 4-4 of this tournament. It would be if it is to happen.
Yeah, previously it's a Central Super Girls player whom had got a 4-4, and it's Pooja Mahato, who couldn't get the best out of this innings yet. So could it be another contender, Kavita Kanwar? Well, as just things were going very smooth, an unnecessary extra being given, Well, that's the thing about extras and the boundaries. It's just the emotions will just shift gears between the teams. Once get a boundary and they just find a flourish, and a wide delivery will just boost the confidence. Like I said before, extras are being an effortless run being awarded to the batter. And trying to go for the other end, and this should be a run out chance. No, a surprise bounce just take about, and Kabita couldn't just hold on to it. Nonetheless, it's a tight chance, but the risk being the dividends just.
Shwana, number 11, gets back to strike. 2 runs off this over, 13 needed from 9 deliveries. Watch your pads.
Well,
Or
Sid, watch your stumps. And a leg stump Yorker that just shatters the stumps, and Southern Jaguars has turned the game around its head, being put on the back foot, immediately winning the toss. Well, the toss was in their favor, so was the match right till the end. They believed they could achieve, and Kabita Kanwar being the second bowler, picking up 4 wickets. What a magnificent spell she has played, and an immense role to play for this tournament. And that sums up the match. So the ones in red, well, they didn't have the best of batting sessions, as Winifred and Marina, the only one, could really put up a decent score and play a really good partnership. Well, it's not a day for the bat for Kabita, but definitely with the ball was Aina Hamiza, who has been running right against the batters, and Frankie for a nearly a close hat-trick, and Pooja Mahato as well, bowling really well. And it was Central Super Girls who asked to bat after that, and Southern Jaguars immediately put the pressure, and the point of inflection of this game was Kabita Kanwar. An important 3-wicket over was the changing point. And apart from Curry Chan, it was Frankie who was able to put the runs. But she tried advance, and being more ambitious had really backfired, and Aina Hamiza to be the third best batter in this game. And looks like apart from triple W's in the group stage, no one is able to chase down, as we take a look at the points table.
At the top again, the Western Wonder Women, the triple W's, as you mentioned, the only unbeaten side with 3 wins. Eastern Lionesses with 2 wins, 1 loss and 1 no result. They finish at 2nd position. The Southern Jaguars will now finish on 3rd with 4 points and an inferior net run rate. Central Super Girls with 1 win, 2 losses and 1 no result will finish on 4th, and the Northern Queens will finish winless with just a solitary point. So with that, we'll conclude this match and we'll catch you in the post-match presentation.
Well, it's me, Dinesh, signing off in the com box alongside Aryan. Stay tuned for more live action as we enter the knockout phase of the Malaysia Super Women League 2024. Thank you very much. Stay safe and stay healthy wherever you are watching this match.
What a match we have had. Another low-scoring match, and what a thriller it was. At the end of the day, it was Southern Jaguars who defended a score of 86 and won by 12 runs. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the post-match presentation. To start with, let me call upon Kerry Chan, please. Kerry, your mic, please. 85, 86 to get. You must have fancied your chances. What went wrong?
I think for us that like we do a very good first inning. It just like we didn't build up like a partnership when we batting, and also like Kabul doing well today. So we just lost the chances.
The second match in the day, which followed more or less the same script, did wicket play a role in that?
I don't think the wicket like really doing much, and especially like when I'm batting there, it's not like big challenging everything. I think it's just us not like being patient enough, and once again like it's like good bowling from Kabul, and also that's the thing we have to learn, and I believe that our team comes stronger.
So hindsight, I know, is a great tool, but looking back at the game, is there anything that you would have done differently?
I think the past is gone already. What we can do is going to looking forward that we know we need to build up the partnership. So that's what the thing we're going to looking forward to improve.
You played some entertaining cricket. Unfortunately, the results not going your way. Good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kerry. And it's time to call upon the winning captain, a very happy captain, Winifred, please. Winnie, going into the break, having 85 on board, what exactly was your thought?
We were confident with the score because morning also it was a very low score on this pitch. But well done to the girls, bowled well to us. We struggled actually in our batting, but we stayed patiently and scored some runs on the board.
We often say that when we win, we celebrate, but we also have to learn from wins. If there is something that you want to change about your performance today, even in victory, what would that be?
Okay, I'd say well done to the girls, well batted, but more to come. Need to score more runs from you all as well, and also good luck to you all. Play well in the next game and come back strong.
So absolutely fantastic victory there. I let you go and celebrate. Congratulations once again. Thank you very much for talking
Thank
to
you
us.
so much.
Thank you. Today, we indeed have a very special guest. He is the ICC Development Manager for Asia region and one of those talismanic cricketers to emerge from Bangladesh, the former Bangladesh captain, Mr. Aminul Islam. May I request you to come up and have a few words, please?
Hello. Hello.
First of all, amazing to see you. Aminul, how are you doing and how are you enjoying your stint in Malaysia?
Yes, Malaysia is always their great host. Always love to come here. And last 2 days have been very, very busy. And it's pleasure to see wonderful young girls are playing wonderful cricket.
It's great to see cricket going beyond the reams of the test-playing nations, the conventional nations, and spreading across the globe. Tell us something about your role that you're playing at the moment.
At the moment, I'm looking after all 20 associate members in Asia, and we have got different types of teams. Like 2 teams are playing World Cups now, Oman and Nepal. They're going to US and West Indies this week, in fact. There's mid-range teams who are playing really, really good cricket. They're in the ODI League 2, and lots of teams they are in the Challenge League. And we have got a lot of countries who are really introduced cricket, like Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Mongolia, Cambodia. So,
Right.
20 countries playing cricket, and we have been supporting them.
Women's cricket is on the rise, and on that backdrop, how do you look at this tournament, the Malaysia Super Women League?
In fact, ICC is one of the major strategy is women's cricket, the growth of this game and high performance. And Malaysia is putting a lot of effort. And this event is I think it's a wonderful event, not for the Malaysia. It's an ideal event for all Asian members.
Thank you very much, but you need to be here for us a while longer because I'm going to request you to, make your presentation as well as a player of the match.
Pleasure.
Let's see who it is. We have had a few good performances, Frankie Niklim and Aina Hamiza, but for her wonderful performance with the ball, 4 wickets that won the match for her team. It is Kabida Kanwar. Unfortunately, she can't make it today. She's not keeping well. I hope nothing serious and she recovers very quickly. On her behalf, we will have the captain, Winifred, receiving the award. Thank you very much, Aminul. Hope to catch up with you soon. And thank you, Winnie. So that concludes day 5 and match 10. And what a couple of days in prospect. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. See you tomorrow.